All right, my friends. The old wolf is here, and welcome to all of you. Um, I kind of want to go over this my whole SpaceBourne 2 adventure with you guys, and it's been a long ride. It's been a long ride. I've got over 212 hours invested into SpaceBourne 2, and you know the title of the video says it all. My overall thoughts on Spaceborne 2, and is it even after release, is it in good enough shape for people to jump in and truly enjoy what it has to offer? Uh, you know, without being frustrated from a lot of the things that people are still getting frustrated from. And what I mean by that is, basically a lot of the frustration comes from people getting, no real basic information or guidance on certain aspects of the game. And there is several areas in the game where there really is no tutorials really basically taking you through it. It's just trial and error of you figuring it out. And now, where we're at right now in the game, I think we're on version 2.0.7. We're still a ways off from the Living Galaxy roadmap update, and hopefully that's going to drop soon, because I think when that drops, and the quality of life update drops, as far as guidance in the game, and trying to alleviate a lot of that frustration, because on the it still has mixed reviews, and majority of those mixed reviews is people getting frustrated, and there's certain areas in the game that cause that. Okay, that, like, you've got the rating systems, you've got the whole scanning system for, like, the Explorers Guild, where people get frustrated with how you got to do the whole scanning system, and being frustrated and all that stuff. And what I mean by that is, like, when you're doing scannings and stuff, you hit that scanner button down there, and you've got to launch catcher probes, you've got to launch enhancers, and then you've got to wait for the pings, and you got to wait for them to get a certain number, and then you've got to enhance it. That is the quality of life stuff that they need to really fix, because that's what frustrates people. And I've heard from a lot of people, message me on my channel, telling me that's what caused them to put it aside, right? And it can be frustrating. And then you have other aspects of the game where you get uh, further into the storyline, and you're wanting to when you don't even have to do the story missions to really basically do the capturing systems, but doing, like, station raids or castle raids, things like that. So, like, you want to take over an independent system or any system, you're going into the system, and it doesn't really explain that to a new player in a good enough way that they will understand it. I experienced all that from trial and error, literally. And a lot of the help I got was from my channel uploading all the videos, was getting tips from people that had figured all that out. And it can be frustrating, very frustrating, because you have to take out the capital station in the system, and then on top of that, you've got to be the dominance meter and all this stuff, and the breaking point for the dominance. It's and on level scale and stuff like that, it's gonna be very frustrating. There's a lot of areas in the game that act like that. Let's see, what's some of the other things that I hear a lot from people, and some of those is from, like, the guild missions, set, especially in your UI. A lot of people have issues with the UI. Um, I think one of the biggest one is HOTAS, stuff like that. Quality of life, and being able to explain this stuff a lot more coherently for new players. People really wanting to jump in to play the game. You know, one of my gripes was I wanted a feature at I want a feature to where if you have played the game already, say you've played it all the way through, or you've played invested enough time in it, so that when you start a new game, start a new character, you can skip the little intro area there and just jump right into your ship. You know what I mean? You don't have to go through that scripted scene. That's just one of my personal ones there, where you just jump right into your ship. You don't have to do the little tutorial crap. Uh, you've you just go, you pick up drain and then stuff like that. But some people get confused on that very basic mission as well. Ship controls. A lot of people get frustrated on like warp, because I've seen people say like where they want to warp, it takes a long time to warp, and that's because they're hitting their, whatever key they have set for the to turn the warp engine on, and they're just looking for targets to warp to. So they could put a little thing in there, basically, because you're going to use stargates. Basically, just use stargates. If you're one of those, I do occasionally enjoy the long warps because it adds kind of like a little flavor to the game, a little immersion. Taking one of those really long jumps, it kind of reminds me of Elite Dangerous in that aspect. But it's really, in my opinion, if I was going to recommend this to a really greenhorn newbie just starting out in the game, if you're really into space games and you really want to try it, I would recommend getting on the Discord, going to the forums. Mainly go to Discord because that's where you're going to get your most help, and just pre-learn some of the things that is going to frustrate you right off the bat. And that way you'll be a little bit more prepared. You're going to experience little glitches and little bugs and stuff like that. It's just going to come because they've ironed out a ton of them already. But I have noticed reading the forums and stuff, there is people still experiencing little glitches. It comes with the territory, right? But would I recommend it to a space sim fan? Someone that loves space games, like Elite Dangerous, just a space game fan, space sim action game fan. Yeah, I would recommend it to you, but with certain parameters. Okay, like I said, going and looking at some guides, asking on the Discord, or do like I did. Do like I did. Just jump in and tinker around with it until you figure it out. But I definitely do recommend this game. It's something that has a lot to offer, with all the other ones, because you've got Star Citizen, which is not even actually a real game yet. You've got Elite Dangerous. There's so many coming out, lately, and there's more to come even down the road, and some of them look really amazing. That I can't wait for. But this one is, it's like a niche game. It's truly an indie game. It literally started out as just one single guy, the Borak Devak. During the process of him making this game, he did get some help, which was drastically needed. I can only imagine the nightmare he had going through all the, because this game is so loaded with so many features and ideas I think that was one of the main things that kind of bogged it down. Was all of the ideas and the ideas for features that was tossed in and not really narrowed down. Not, and what I mean is not kind of um, developed in a way where they all kind of tied in. You know what I mean? They were kind of all over the place. And that's what causes a lot of the frustration for players because they're like, okay, well, what the hell am I supposed to be doing here? And but um, graphics wise, we're just going to go over all these. Graphics wise, the game um, looks just fine. It's on Unreal Engine 4. Uh, you can turn it up to max, whatever. You can turn it down low. I never had any issues with the graphics. Um, like sound quality. Some of the sound quality during the early days was kind of bad, and some of it now is kind of, it's got its moments, but it's nothing game breaking. It's going to tear you out of the game. Gameplay wise, there's the gameplay loop in this space game is, to me, is what sold it to me. It's what I've had the most fun in. The mining aspects of this game I love because you've got to go to the guild, you've got to go to the miners guild, you've got to join the miners guild. You can hand mine, you can mine with a ship, you can buy mining ships, which you see right there on the screen, the star driller, which are specifically designed for it, right? So just starting out, you can jump into your very beginner ship, which is the Zelensky, and you can change the name of the ships. And you can just go fly off to an asteroid field. You're not going to be able to identify what's in the asteroid. It's just going to, you're going to fly up to it and basically, you can hop out and start mining on it. But without being in a miner ship, you're not going to be able to survey or scan what's in the asteroid. So you're basically just looking for the gold shiny ones, right? And then you just hop out of your beginner ship. You eject out of it. You fly over to the asteroid with your little dude, and you try to find a nice place to land on the asteroid. Take out your little mining tool, your mining beam, and you start mining gold right there on the asteroid. And that's what, I love the mining in this game. So you can mine in several different ways, mine all the way through the asteroid. And then once you get enough money, you go and get you a mining ship like right here. And it's got the mining add-on to it, which is like a little, it's called a Misactor, but it's a little mining ship. And when you're flying in your mining ship, it scans the asteroids and tells you exactly what's in it. It tells you the percentage of what that ore is in the asteroid, because you've got several different ores. Like I said, gold is the one you're first going to tinker with. But once you get your mining ship, you're going to go looking for the really high value. So say, for example, you get enough to get your mining ship, you go and you're going to look for like an asteroid that has Acertac. That is the high value, right? So you can either do it with I do it specifically with my hand mining, right? So I'll go and there's, you've got things on there where you can like bore through the asteroid. You've got worms which tunnel through, and the worms are the ones you want because they will go and pinpoint where the Acertac is, like a guesstimated range where it's at. Now you just hop out of your ship and kind of just go right in there and just drill yourself down. I like to, sometimes I kind of like to use the actual massacre, which is the little mining. It's a mining ship inside of a mining ship, right? So you have your big mining ship, and inside, docked inside your mining ship, you have what's called a massacre. And that is what you get in to kind of get up into the, that's what you can use to mine the asteroid with. And it has the tools, the utilities that you use to locate the ores in the asteroid, the minerals. So, say like you used a worm, you locate where the astrotac is, and then you can just kind of bore out a little bit or mine around it, get to it quicker, because the ship mining, the massacre's mining laser, it eats up the asteroid pretty quick. And then until you get a little bit closer to the astrotac, and then you can just hop out and mine that stuff up, and you're going to net up a whole lot of money. But yeah, like I said, mining of the game is great. I love the mining. I love the space combat, space battles. Whether you're doing freelancer missions or bounty hunter missions, those are epic. I love those. That part of the game is great. Another great part of the game is the ground missions, which is called your mercenary guild. Because you've got guilds in this. You've got your explorers guild. You've got your freelancers guild. You've got your mercenaries, if I hadn't already said that already. You've got your bounty hunters guild. And then you have other ones that come along later. I won't spoil it for like the new players, but most of the people on my channel aren't new players, but some might click on this video and watch it. You have some you discover later. And yeah. So like the Explorers Guild is really kind of cool. I like that because you actually do have to go around and explore and find things. And they have done some quality of life improvements for that, updates for that as well, which made it a lot easier and a lot more straightforward, you know. The ship customizations and stuff like that part of the game, I love. You can really kind of max them out and make them really badass. There's several different types of ships you can buy in this game. That's the mining ship right here you see on the screen. Now, let's see. What have I gone over? I've gone over the guilds and stuff like that, because the guilds will give you rewards, experience, lots of cash, things like that. And especially as the higher level you go. Let's see. Landing on stations is cool because you can go on the stations and you can get random missions in stations as well. Another one of my favorite parts of the game is planetary stuff. So like you can just go and land on a planet if it's a landable planet, but the atmosphere is. You can literally just fly in. There's no loading screen. You go through the atmosphere, land on the planet. And there's places on the planet. There's POIs, points of interest. You can just go exploring. You can mine things on the planet as well. There's nodes on the planet. There's dungeons on the planet. There's mining dungeons on the planet. You can run into people and get random missions on a planet. So now the Living Galaxy update that hopefully is going to be coming out at some point, that's supposed to add a lot more to the planet aspect of the game, which I think is going to be very great. And that's probably going to make it a lot better, especially for people. I think a lot of people are waiting for that. So fingers crossed that comes out at some point. So yeah, the planet stuff is good. The station sector takeovers, like capturing and plundering and stuff like that. So you go into a station and you see where it says on the screen there, it showed dominance, right? If you're at a certain level where you can do that and you've worked your way up to where you have enough people in your faction the players faction, where you have enough soldiers and pilots, you go into a system you want to take over. You just go in there and you're going to do some raiding. Now you can you got to take out the capital station in a system that you want to take over, right? So you're basically going in there to raid, and you've got all your people lined up. That is so fun because you're literally taking over the whole system, and you're flying around fighting all these massive battles. Which a lot of the stuff I'm going to be covering in a complete walkthrough series that I'm doing. That's going to be covering all this stuff for people to try to help them out and understand it better. Yeah, like that stuff is good. You've got ground invasions you can do with your mercenaries. That is great. Oh man, there's so many. Later on in the game, this is going to be a spoiler, so if you don't want to hear it, kind of mute it. You find a group, and it's you join the Brotherhood Guild, and that is fun because you get some great missions from that, like plundering, pirating, looting, all that kind of stuff. Now, Bounty Hunter Guild. For the bounty hunter missions, that takes some getting used to. So on my walkthrough, when we get to that part of the series on my walkthrough guide and another series I got going, that's probably going to help a lot of people because at the very beginning, that does seem very hard and it's confusing because they don't really tell you which one to take. You've got to pick them in your same kind of level range, or you're not going to achieve it. And there's other aspects of that too, but that's great. The exploration of the game, if I haven't already said that, is great. I love that part as well. Now you see right here, I was telling you this earlier. These mining ships will show you what is in the asteroid, so you're not just having to guess. You know, you don't have to just in your starter ship. You're not going to get that. And you're basically going around looking for high value asteroids. But yeah, like I said earlier, the mining part of this game is great. I love it. This is an older video I got running here going through it, but things have changed. Let's see, what else have I not covered over here? Yeah, I've covered the ground, the mercenaries and all that stuff. Some of the story missions, the story in the game is, it's okay. It's not really the meat and potato of the game. It's just kind of like guiding you along. Some parts of it are great. Not great, but good. It's good enough, and it has improved a lot over all the updates and stuff since the 1.0 release. My thing is, it really is a sandbox because you can go and run around and do whatever you want. You want to just do mining and make a fortune on mining. That's good. You could do that as well. There's trading. You can buy massive trading ships and try to just beat the market. I haven't done a lot of trading in the game, so I really can't really say a whole lot about the trading. But I do know it has improved a lot over the updates. So if you want to be a trader, you can be a trader. If you want to be a pirate and just go around and trying to get other ships to hand over their goods or just shooting them down and taking their goods, then you can do that. There's so much to the game that, really isn't listed on the store page that is there. You just kind of have to play it to really kind of find out. But, with the space games we have out right now, with what we have to offer, I would say, guys, that SpaceBourne 2 really is worth it. If you wait for a sale, I would recommend waiting for a sale on the game. Pick it up when it's on sale. We're going to have some sales coming up here pretty soon, I think. There's another Next Fest thing, but anyway, there's going to be some sales coming up. So if you want to pick it up on a sale, pick it up on a sale, and just give it a try. And if you get frustrated, come back and watch my guys or jump on their Discord, and you'll learn a lot from either the Discord. And there's a lot of cool people on there that really help a lot for people that get frustrated, don't understand things. But overall, would I recommend this game? Is it worth playing? 100% it is worth playing. It's a single developer indie game, space game that has high ambitions. The guy is still working on it. He does have help now, so that's a plus, but it is definitely recommended. Just give it a try. If you are, like I said earlier on, if you're a space game junkie, like the rest of us, it would be worth it just to check it out to see, because you're never going to know until you try. You can watch videos of it on YouTube and all that stuff and read about it, but you're really not going to know until you dive in and play it. I put over 200 hours into this, so that kind of shows where I stand on it. But at the same time, I'm an honest man. I'm going to tell you, there is you will get frustrated when you first start playing. You may run into bugs, but the game can be quite fun as it is. You could get a lot I've gotten 2 hours and I still play the game. So it's just one of those space games, kind of like Elite. You can set aside and go back to it. Cause after all, I have talked to him several times, and this is his true passion right here. And he's not done with it yet. His roadmap is standing true, and he has been working on that roadmap. So I think the big thing that's coming is going to be the extra quality of life on the roadmap. But I think the big one is going to be the living galaxies. I think the living galaxies is going to be pretty huge. If he pulls that off and does it right, I think that's going to improve this game. It's going to add a whole nother layer to it. So nothing's going to seem stagnant, and it's going to feel, kind of like a living universe, almost kind of like what I want. There's another space game that I played. It's an older one, but it always felt like it was a live universe. People were going around doing their own things. X4, yeah, Foundations. Living universe where things seem like they're going on. You know what I mean? Where it's not just you. But other than that, guys, I wanted this to be a short video. I just kind of wanted to make this as kind of like a recommendation. Is it something that you would want to play? It's really all basically going to boil down to you. Whether you're going to like it or not. Steam has the 2-hour refund window, and in 2 hours, with this game, you play it for 2 hours, you're gonna get to that point. Probably 2 hours is going to be cutting it close for this, but 2 hours, you're going to know whether it's something you're going to want to play. But I would recommend this game for sure. And also, is it worth playing? Yes, definitely so. Is it good? Yes, it is a great game for a space game and for indie developer. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, the indie developer scene is where most of the great games are coming from right now. We all know about all the AAA slop. Maybe they'll learn something from the indies. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was some kind of help. And I am working on continuing the walkthrough series. I'm going to be like on episode 2 of that. We are getting into the mining phase of that, but other than that, I'll see you guys when we get to that point. And have a great rest of your week. And the old wolf will see you next time.